Hello, hello. How are you feeling? Welcome to the bonus call, to the Q&A call from the next income standard Telegram experience. I'm so excited that some of you put some questions in privately, and I'm gonna respond to them later on. But first, I just want to give you a little bit of a resume of what we covered during this experience. So, in the beginning, on day one, we really looked at the high income months and how to create really a business model that supports you to having them consistently, those high income months, and not just like if you're launching. And also really what to do when your business isn't there yet, so that you are not being reactive and that you don't take things too personally and then create from a lower energy, but that you really project the best case scenario and also act accordingly to it, that it's gonna happen, right? Because this is how manifestation works, and this is also how you can grow a successful business. And it's really, really important also to make business not mean anything about yourself, right? So if you don't have a specific income in your business, it doesn't mean that you're bad at business. It just means that there are several things that you can change, tweak, optimize to get better, right? And day two was about the money that you don't see in your business yet. And I actually had several people reaching out because of that, because the things that I said there, they were new, not new. Most of you knew them already because you are having a business, and these are like things that are very common. But when you're in your business, you're so zoomed in on the specific tasks that you actually tend to forget these things, or you don't really pay attention because you kind of in the day-to-day business and you redo the same things without thinking a little bit outside of the box. So there we talked about upselling or downselling to your existing clients, to clients who expressed interest but maybe didn't convert, to propose to clients to prolong working with you, maybe in a different offer, maybe by extending the offer, to build out loyalty programs. And I can talk about this for so long because I was working on this kind of projects with brands like Samsung and L'Oreal, and I really like there is so much that you can do that is actually very, very easy to implement, but sometimes you just don't think about it because maybe it is too easy. And we are kind of are used to do the hard things without focusing on the easy things. Yeah, this is just how it works. And as you probably know, there are three ways how you really can increase sales. And this is or by increasing your prices, or by selling to more people, but also to sell to the same people, but more often. And so this third part, it's often forgotten. And this is what I wanted to focus more on mostly during day two. Then we had day three. It was about visibility and the cases where it's not converted. So maybe you're visible, maybe you have good comments from people who reach out and say that it's so valuable what you have, but they don't commit the next step because being visible is not the same thing as being chosen, right? So maybe you have people who are watching your stories, they're commenting, but they still don't buy from you. And this is very important to notice it so you can really change it, so you can really speak more to transformation. You can maybe readapt your messaging. You can really see where maybe you yourself are not really aligned with your offer. So your energy feels off, and people can feel that, right? Like subconsciously, you feel so much more, and your energy speaks so much louder than just words. So this one is actually a super, super important point, and it's also overlooked quite often. In day four, we've been talking about embodiment and really creating, we talked about identity and the importance of identity and of the way how you see yourself, how you see your business, and also the results that you create. Because if you think, if your self-concept of yourself is that you're a successful business owner for whom it's easy to generate five-figure income months on a consistent basis, then you will take different actions to get there, and you will also talk from a different energy. And if you focus your energy on this result and you really create from this, and you're in the energy of the identity you want to be, or your business needs you to be in order to create the results that you want, then you will create them as well. So self-concept is really, really important. And oftentimes people set goals or they're setting intentions, they're doing affirmations, but if subconsciously you don't believe that this is actually true, it's not gonna help you. So before you actually do these affirmations or you're envisioning your future self, you really also have to do the deeper work. You really have to regulate your nervous system and you really have to bring safety into your body because otherwise, if your body doesn't feel safe and it doesn't feel safe if something new is introduced to it, then it will reject it. So this is also the fact why lotto winners are losing the money very quickly because in a moment they are happy to have the money, but since their nervous system is not regulated, money is perceived as a threat, and your nervous system and your subconscious mind, where the nervous system is a part of, they are trained to protect you, to keep you safe. So they will rather reject the money because you survived yesterday and the last 10, 20, 30 years without this money. So it feels safe. So it will reject it. And that's why you really should do the deeper work. You really should work with your patterns so that you create safety in your body first to get the results that you want. And day 5 was to shift from the reactive state into the intentional state. And if some of you are coming on live a little bit later, since I'm already talking for some minutes, you can post your question in the chat still, okay? Okay, perfect. So if you want to share something that that this experience brought up for you, or if you had any wow moments or anything, you're also welcome to do it. And I had Nicole telling me that for her it was a big shift to think about reconnecting with old clients because she was mostly focusing on the new offers, on messaging, on all these things that we are always listening from other coaches to focus on. But actually, reconnecting with new clients, with older clients, it's so easy. You just send them a voice note or a little message. And from this, if you've been already in business, especially for a bit, it's so easy and so fast to create clients that sometimes people are just mind blown how easy it is actually. Then we also had a question about clear offer and transformation. So it's a private question that I'm gonna answer privately because I don't want to reveal too much about other people's businesses in here. Um, and then I had a feedback from Nicole as well that she said that for her it landed the phrase that I said that being seen is not the same thing as being chosen. So it's really about the conversion. And while, of course, all of this is important, visibility is important, nurturing is important in the right way, and also conversion is, of course, very important. But I can tell you, last month, I think it was, I had only 8 people watching my stories on Instagram. And I introduced a new offer, a paid offer. And from these 8 stories, I made a sale. So you don't have to have lots of people. You don't have to be, I don't know, popular or a star. Of course, you can if you want, but you don't need that many people. I want to say is that if you want to have consistent, for instance, 5K months, or if you want to go to your next level, there is so much things that you can do already in your business by just optimizing things that are already working. Then I had somebody writing. So she has, I don't want to say her name, she asked not to mention, but she said that she's been in different courses and worked with lots of coaches. And in the programs she's been to, it seems that everybody has success but her. And so what I want to tell you, it's not that everybody has success, but you, like, it's not that you are made for not having success or that you're cursed or whatever you might think, right? But what is important to remember is that they are different people and they have different energies, they have different zone of geniuses. So for different people, different approaches can actually work best, right? Like some people, they love social media and they can be on stories all the time. They're creating lots of content and they're just so magnetic that it works perfectly for them. Then there are also people who really like networking, who are really, really great in building relationships outside of social media, or maybe guest speaking in other people's communities. I had one client, she just did podcasts. She was also on social media, but it was more like for the people who were listening to the podcast to then check out her social so they can really see and feel her better. But she grew to, she had a multiple six-figure business and she only did podcasts. So she had her own podcast and she invited very big, influential people from her niche or a bit outside of her niche who had a similar ideal customer as she had. And these people who she invited, they reposted the podcast and she grew so fast. And it was so easy for her because what she loved doing, it was talking. And so she could be on podcasts all day long and she just enjoyed it so much. Not that she did it, but she did lots of podcasts. And yeah, it was just playing into her energy. And it really worked very well as well to attract her ideal client. And if you think also, just to come back to this again, so if you think that the strategy works for everybody but not you, just also release the guilt and really stop recreating the pattern by thinking everything is working for others but not for me, because you just reinforce the pattern. But really try to shift it and maybe think about what I said, that like maybe you can adapt your strategy, the approach, how your business is built, and so on. What else do we have here? Another question that came up is that somebody said that very often she feels like she is just in front of having a breakthrough, but then she stops and she kind of goes to the old patterns. And what I want to tell you to this is that resistance is always coming shortly before your breakthrough, because it wants to distract ourselves from the breakthrough because it feels that the breakthrough will threaten something inside of us, right? So it's just a protective mechanism that we can overcome by using tools to regulate our nervous system. And if you're working with me or if you worked with me already, you know that I know lots of tools how you can really calm your nervous system very, very fast. And one of the tools, for instance, my favorite one, I used it a lot also during my pregnancy, because I had also times that I was like a bit scary that I will lose it or that something could go wrong. And I always did this tool. And just within some minutes, it calmed me down so well. And I actually have a friend of, well, I have a friend, and she's pregnant now for the third time. And unfortunately, the first two times she lost the baby earlier. I mean, it was the beginning of the pregnancy, but then I showed her this tool and she's using it now. And she says that she feels so calm and so relaxed just by applying that tool. And then we had another question, I think. Yes, the last question that came in, it was about raising the prices. So this person says that she feels very confident in her offer and she knows that it's working very well because she already proved it and she worked with different people. And so she raised her price, but she always feels like she has or to justify the price or she has to lower it again. So while she still has the higher price, she's always offering discount because she feels kind of that the price is too high. So there are different things I want to say to that. First of all, don't set your price too high that it feels really threatening to your nervous system. I would rather update it smaller, like in smaller steps, right? So you can really get used to it and you can step behind and you don't always feel like you have to justify or to change the price. And if you already set the price, then also like, I mean, you can always send it back if set it a little bit back if it feels too big, or you can add a VIP options to it. But you can also work with your nervous system and to really understand why this price is actually a good price, because oftentimes you think it's too high, but it's actually not too high for your ideal client. So really think about the time that your client is saving by working with you or the energy that they're saving. How other areas of their lives can be uplifted by working with you. So, for instance, I once, it was some months ago, I was working with a client, and also she was working with different clients, with different coaches already, and she felt very stuck. And so during 2 weeks or 1 week even, she created more in her business than the whole last year combined. And that happened because we've been working on the deeper layers, and she really understood and felt also like why she was blocked before. And once she could get um, rid of this resistance, well, she just completely blew up, right? And so what I want to tell you is that even if she would create just 1,000 in her business, well, okay, let's say even if she would create 5,000 in her business after these 2 weeks, not working together would cost her 5,000, right? So you always have to think about the opportunity cost. And this also goes with your niche, with your clients. Think always about what they lose of not working with you, be it time, energy, life quality, opportunities, and so on. Okay. So I didn't have any other questions coming in. I don't see any questions in the chat. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Hera as well, the new leadership and business evaluation experience that I'm about to launch. It's the first time I'm launching it, and I'm super excited, as you can probably see. Uh, it's nothing that I just came up. I've been working with identity and deep inner work, subconscious, and all this good stuff for 5 years. And I have over 15 years of experience in business and growing businesses to 8 figures, 6 figure launches. I've been working with 100 entrepreneurs, so I'm very good on the strategy as well. And what I found so good about Hera is that it really has the combination of both. So you can really create a business from your vision, from your dreams, from your desires, a business that can really support you, but you also do it in a way that really feels alive and that is actually playing into your strengths versus just to tell you strategies that I used and helped me in my business, because you're not me and maybe you're at a different business stage, maybe you have a different mission, maybe you want different results, right? So it's really about you, and I support you both strategically, but also with the deeper inner work. And so within Hera, we will have 2 live calls per month. So it can be a Q&A call where you can really post me all your questions, and we will really finish the call when your questions are answered. And we will also do some energetic subconscious rewiring things. So we will talk about nervous system regulation, about identity, how to really shift in a higher identity. And it's not just by saying affirmations, right? You will access to my other programs and masterclasses that I launched already, like Limitless, which I launched already 3 times. And it's a program on really stepping into your full power. So you can look at this program even before Hera is starting. And you will also have access to a Telegram chat where I'm answering 4 days a week. And your question is going to be answered in less than 24 hours during these days. So it's incredible because you have almost all the tools that I work with my private clients, and my 6 months coaching is or mentorship is a 5 figure commitment. But if you're in Hera, you have this for only a much smaller price. So now the founding members, it's just 2K, which is completely crazy because I will really answer your questions on the calls. You will have all the support you need. We will do amazing things. We will do energetic alignments. I can do hypnosis. I can do so many things with you to really help you get the business of your dreams, but also to find out what you really want, and not like to help you to listen more to your voice and not just to be bombarded by messages that you hear from other people all the time. And yes, and also now if you book until Thursday, you will also get an extended call with me. So now normally it's 60 minutes and 5 days Telegram support if you pay in full. And so it will be 90 minutes if you book until Thursday. And for the payment option. For the monthly options, you will get 1 hour instead of 30 minutes. If you have any questions, please reach out. I will never kind of force you into something. I already had people who I had on a sales call, and I actually told them that it's not the right fit for where they are right now. So I will really be honest and transparent because I want really to build a community and to have people and sites that are more or less on the same ways, that have the same or a similar vision and similar values. So yeah, you can DM me if you have any questions. I will also link the sales page again. Well, you already have it a bit earlier in the chat, but I'm just gonna link it again. And yeah, I wish you an amazing day and I hope you enjoyed the experience. Have a good day. Bye bye.